Happy Friday, everybody. This is Victory with another Epic 7 video for you. Not the video I was expecting to make for you guys because the day after the World Arena update, through kind of some weird circumstances and just unfortunate things happening, I have lost my first account. You know, it's just one of those things. This isn't going to be a salt video, but things are impermanent, you know. All is vanity, says the teacher. And so decided, well, you know, maybe I can just start a new account with some fresh eyes, maybe avoid repeating some of the mistakes I made when I was building my first account. And I have to say, I can tell I'm progressing a lot quicker in this one than I was in the first account, and kind of making use of some things. I definitely enjoy my selective summon this time around a lot more than I did my first one. First selective summon, I literally summoned for Angelica, and that was it. And this video is just going to be kind of some of those things that I'm seeing here in the second time around. So for new players, if you're wanting to progress quickly, these are just some of the lessons that I've learned from the first account and then starting this second one here. So the first one is selective summoning. I'll have a picture of what I picked in the thumbnail so that you can kind of see what I've got all in a row there. But a couple of things that I'm noticing right away is in selective summoning, I personally believe that the old mode of Angelica as a top priority just doesn't really exist anymore. Because number one, Angelic Montmorency exists, who is someone that I picked up later on in my first account and ended up using in a lot more content than I was using Angelica. And she is great. She is really, really good in a lot of situations. And number two, if all you need is a healer to sit in the front line, get rid of debuffs, and heal your party so that you can keep on adventuring, Aether is great. Aether does that really well, and you get Aether right at the beginning of the game no matter who you selective summon. So selective summoning, my views on it are totally turned upside down. In my opinion, the things that you want to get from selective summoning, number one, is a natural 5-star just to have some fun. I got Araminta, who I'm very, very happy with. If you get one who has an area of effect attack so that you can use them as your farming adventure, I think that's great. But really just get a 5-star that you like. There is a different pool in selective summoning. Get a 5-star that you like and get Daydream Joker if you absolutely can, because Daydream Joker is going to be how you get through Abyss. It's something that I missed for a long time until I finally used a lot of Mystic Summons to get it. And it would have sped up my progress in Abyss and in other game modes as well considerably if I had just got it in my selective summon. This time around I did. Another thing that I see in selective summon that's very useful, and you can see her sitting at the table here, is Kiris, who again is another key to going fast in Abyss and getting down and getting all those rewards because of her triple poison. Kiris is probably the #1 best hero for Abyss, period. So those are some things I got in my selective summon this time around that I just didn't know I needed the first time. I just kind of read a reroll guide. It said get Angelica, so I got Angelica, and that was that. But this time around, I've got a much wider roster of heroes. The other thing that I'm noticing early on is, you know, a lot of guides say get a farmer right away. Make a farmer your first 6-star. And you know who is a great farmer? Mercedes. I had dismissed Mercedes and never promoted her above 4-star in my first account because I got Lorena and I used Lorena as my farmer, and that was all fine and dandy. But if you think about Vildred, who a lot of people recommend is the best farmer in the game. Okay, what does he do? He does a lot of area of effect damage, basically, right? And you know, he increases his combat readiness. Yes, he gets extra attacks. Yes, but mainly he does a lot of area of effect damage. Well, what does Mercedes do? All 3 of her attacks that she has in her kit deal area of effect damage, and she has a pretty decent attack stat. I believe it's like 1187, so basically 1200 basic attack that's always going to be hitting for area of effect damage. And all she does is damage. Yes, that's all you need a farmer to do. So this time around, I am going to try a little experiment. I don't think it's going to hurt me too bad. I'm going to make Mercedes my first 6-star, and then make Commander Lorena my second 6-star. First account, I think I made Lorena my first 6-star. I really don't remember who my second 6-star was. Probably Cirilla, who was from the Halloween event. This time, obviously, I don't have Cirilla to lean on, but I'm okay with that. Mercedes and Lorena are going to be my number 1 and number 2 for farming, for dealing damage, for getting through Abyss and Labyrinth. And then, honestly, it might be Aether, but we'll see where I'm at that point in the game. So that's some decisions that I'm doing differently this time around. Just to kind of show you some examples of how you can get gear early on. Now, of course, the Christmas event is going on right now, and I'm getting the gear from the Christmas event. So that's on Aether. But this is just some stuff that I think I got from Adventurer's Path. Mercedes has some stuff that I just threw on her from Adventurer's Path. I'm not even bothering to enhance it. Kyrus has some stuff that I got from Adventurer's Path and from chests in the labyrinth. Not the labyrinth, chests in the maze levels. Araminta has on a couple things from the Christmas event. Ubrid's Spear from the Labyrinth. You know, this was from Adventurer's Path. This is from, if you go back and do Level in Harbor a second time right after you clear it, you get this ring. It's fine, you know. But just throwing this gear on that you get early on in Adventurer's Path, you don't need to enhance it. You don't need to really mess with it. Just throw it on your characters. It's going to improve your combat power by 10 to 25%, like a lot, a noticeable difference, especially in terms of their attack, because you get those flat stats from the left side. Stuff like that really makes a big difference early on, because you don't want to spend a lot of time obsessing over gear early in the game, right? You just want to pick 4 heroes that you can roll with. My 4-hero team is this right here. I'm using this for adventure. And then I pick supporters. But pick a 4-hero team that you can roll with through adventure. Give them whatever gear happens to come your way. You don't have to worry too much about enhancing it. Just throw it on them. And then follow the Adventurer's Path. That is the other number 1 piece of advice that I would have for new players, is follow this Adventurer's Path. Oh, great. Follow the Adventurer's Path. It leads you through the first 10 chapters of the story. And it gives you a bunch of good stuff, like really good stuff, like runes and equipment experience and Crozet, I guess. A 4-star hero, I think, is, yeah, you just get a 4-star hero. In a depth adventure, I'm going to get a 4-star artifact and some Molagora. And just look at all this good stuff. I'm just going to pick some of this stuff out so that people can see what all is in here. Because this really is the best bang for your buck. Hey, look at that, a full set of health gear. The best bang for your buck, you know, the best mileage on helping you progress out of the early game and into the mid game. Adventurer's Path, do it. And while you're doing that, do your Labyrinth, do your Abyss, try and get into a guild. Doesn't really matter what guild. I happened to be able to communicate with my old guild members and get back into this guild that I was in before. Thank you guys. But yeah, so for a new player, don't worry about gear too much. Just throw on the gear that you get. If there are events going on, that's the last thing I'm going to kind of go over here that I'm doing in my new account. If there's events going on, try to read the event exchange with kind of a critical eye, right? Like, catalysts are great. Yes. I don't really need most of this stuff right now, but this equipment, which I don't know if this is in every event, I don't think it is, but this kind of equipment here is fantastic and will give me a huge power boost and allow me to progress very, very quickly. So even if I get nothing else from this shop, and I'm probably going to get some stuff from the shop, I'm going to get that equipment. I would say for events, if you cannot farm hard or better, don't worry too much about the event shop, but pick out a couple things that are going to really help you right away. Like, this equipment is a no-brainer. Sometimes the artifact is really good. If there's, you know, catalysts that you need to awaken a hero that's in your core 4, maybe get those. But worry about events once you have a team who can clear probably at least hard. on the stages that have difficulty levels. Otherwise, just get the really, really good stuff out of the events. Now, that's for early game. Obviously, by the mid game, you can clear hard. You can probably clear hell. Maybe you can't clear hell with fodder. But if you can clear at least hard or hell mode in an event, clear that event out. If you can't, if normal is the absolute best you can do, and honestly, I don't think this account can handle normal right now, then just go for the really good stuff and call it at that, which you can normally get just by doing the reputation missions. So that is pretty much going to be it for this video. I was hoping to do a World Arena video for you, but obviously I'm rank 18. It's going to be a little bit before I can do those, unfortunately. So instead, this is just going to be a quick guide to being a new player and what to do as a new player. I believe next video I'm going to talk about what to do here in your sanctuary as you progress through the game. But until then, have a great weekend, everybody, and thank you for watching.